So hello and welcome to Across the Desk with Elizabeth Plouffe. I'm here today with Kelly Bentley from You Holistic Wellness, and we're going to be talking how to break through your weight loss plateau. And that's something that I have struggled with since a very long time. So I'm really eager to hear more about it. Kelly is a member of the Healthcare Collaboration Network and gave us a fantastic peek into the importance of the circadian rhythm and sleep and the six foundational principles around your health. So welcome, Kelly.
Thank you.
So tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I am an advanced holistic lifestyle coach, a nutrition and lifestyle coach, a holistic health practitioner, and a personal training specialist. I had opened You Holistic Wellness Center in BC and have just recently moved back. So here I am.
Yay!
Yay! And this is what I love. So, what else is there to say?
I love talking about it.
I can talk about this forever.
We can talk about health and food. So before we started, you sort of mentioned that you wanted to start with the 6 foundational principles. And I know during our healthcare meetup that everybody was absolutely fixated when you started talking about the impact that even something as simple as the circadian rhythm, which I'm going to ask you to explain what it is, because some of our listeners might not know what that is. I was astounded and thoroughly jazzed, which again prompted me to start your 21-day challenge, which we're on what day are we on?
Just over halfway. A little bit further than halfway.
Yeah, which has been fantastic.
Just about a week left.
And I don't plan on giving it up. These are honestly partly because of what we're going to talk about today, but partly how I now feel having been on the challenge. I don't plan on stopping. So it's not just like the 21-day challenge is over and yay, I'm going to get liquored. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't plan on reintroducing any of the things that I changed. And it started with this. So let's start with this. So how to break through your weight loss plateau. What's the 6 foundational principles?
Well, I always start with those because it's not just about breaking through a plateau. Those are the 6 foundational principles for every single thing to do with your own health and wellness. Everything. So it's thinking, breathing, moving, sleep, nutrition, and hydration. So a plateau happens for all kinds of reasons. It always, actually, I can say probably over 90% of any health and wellness issue comes from an imbalance of those 6. So if you think about sleeping, nutrition and hydration, thinking, breathing, and movement. When it comes to thinking, breathing, and moving, that's all of us every day. That's everybody. And
one hopes.
Yeah, well.
Otherwise, it's a different kind of meetup.
Otherwise, it's a different kind of challenge altogether. Yeah. But yeah, people do that without even thinking about it. But the amount of people that have proper nutrition, hydration, and sleep are a very small fraction of those. Agreed. And so really, it's just about helping people balance all of these out.
So I'm reading here, Kelly's got a fantastic overview of this workshop that she provides. So this is not only a service that she provides to individual people, but it's also a workshop that she will run, which is fantastic. And we're hoping to reschedule and do that again in the new year. So
yes, we will.
If you're listening and you're inspired, it's coming. But you mentioned here the first 3, the thinking, breathing, and movement, take energy away from our bodies. So
yes.
What does that mean?
Those are the things that expend energy. It's not very well known, but thinking actually expends the most energy out of any activity that we ever do.
I should be skinny as a rail.
It's true. If you want to see the most emaciated people, go to where they give the bar exam, because those people are... Thinking takes so much energy, and then breathing and moving, obviously.
So would types of thinking, because you got me thinking.
Yeah.
Would types of thinking then have an impact as well? So if you're trapped in a pattern of negative thought versus positive thought,
yes,
could it have the reverse? So if you're trapped in negative thought, could it in fact cause a weight gain?
It could, yeah, because it all starts in the mind. That's why it's actually the first, because not only are they segregated into 3 and 3, they're listed in order of priority. So negative thinking takes an extreme amount of toll on the body, and it can actually stop somebody's metabolism. Just
Really?
their thoughts. Yes.
So if I sit here and I do a mind melt and I say to myself, I think I'm thinner. Yes? No, you're laughing. That's
Anything
probably-
anti-stress would be the best.
I use a fantastic app that I found because most yoga apps or meditation apps, sorry, irritate the heck out of me. The voices
Right.
are just so. I just want to throttle the nice person on the other end of the thing. That doesn't work out very well. So I found one called Headspace,
Okay.
and it's this really nice British meditation yoga guy named Andy.
It's always better with an accent.
I'm telling you. You know, it's like sticking some sugar on the spoon. The medicine just goes right down. And this guy just, it's a fantastic app. And I actually have a yoga mat here at my office, Canada. I come in this room. I lie myself under the window so I'm in the sun. Earphones on. Lie myself down. Andy takes me away for 20 minutes. I'm like, booyah.
Perfect.
I've just started incorporating that more. I've had my yoga mat out there for a month. I mean, let's be honest.
Well,
But
it's there.
it's getting there.
It's
It's
there.
getting there. So at the top of the next list, the sleep, nutrition, and hydration is the number one is sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about, because this is the part of your member spotlight that just blew me away.
Yeah, it's amazing what can be accomplished with sleep. So our bodies run on a biological rhythm with the sun and the moon. It's been like that for, well, to a little bit of information. It takes the human body 100,000 years to change 0.1%, the genome.
Yeah.
So we're still very primally wired, and we used to cycle with the sun and the moon before lights and all of those fancy things happened. Yeah. So the time for optimal sleep, especially in this part of the world, is from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Mm-hmm. From 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. is when our bodies get all of the physical repair we need. But not just muscular repair, all of the organs get their repair, everything physical gets its repair. Mm-hmm. And then 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. is when we get all of the psychological and emotional, mental repair. So a lot of times people with mental disorders have seen huge improvements just from making sure they're getting the proper sleep.
So one thing I've noticed on the 21-day challenge, for example, is I used to have, and I think this is true for men or women, I used to have what I affectionately called my 3 a.m. conference call.
Right.
So I would, try to go to bed for 10-ish. Might want to add 2 hours onto that, but give or take, without fail. It didn't matter what time I went to bed. 3 o'clock, up.
Mm-hmm.
And you go for your, nightly walk to the bathroom, and then I would lie there forever.
Mm-hmm.
What do I have to do the next day? What am I thinking about? What am I worrying about? I want to kill my husband because he's snoring, and you have those little psychotic breaks where that pillow is looking really good to because you just are so tired.
Right.
And just these 3 a.m. conference calls, and I see it on my friends with Facebook all the time.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Up again at 3, up again at 3. So from what you're saying, the 10 till 2 for the physical, is it because we're moving into that psychological repair part that we get that 3 a.m. wake-up call? Or
it's actually mostly hormonal balance, because the two hormones that need to be balanced for optimal sleep are cortisol and melatonin.
Right.
So cortisol is the fight or flight hormone, but it's also the wake-up hormone. So anytime we see any light, even if it's artificial, even our skin has photons in it that can react to the light as well, and cortisol gets released and tells us to wake up. Mm-hmm. So during the day, especially with caffeine has a half-life of 14 to 17 hours. So if you are disrupting your hormones, meaning that if you're keeping your cortisol up throughout different stressful things, caffeine or other such things you could do throughout the day,
right,
it's going to kick in around 3 a.m., the cortisol. And your melatonin doesn't have adequate production to keep you asleep. Bastard. So it's mostly hormonal imbalance that can do that.
Well, I know I have found since I've cut out the caffeine, and I honestly was shocked and convinced myself for a long time that because I'm ADD, and unmedicated ADD, caffeine actually calmed me down, which it actually did. But what I found actually, it was more the psychosomatic action of taking the time to make myself a warm something. Mm-hmm. And so I had convinced myself for a long time that caffeine wasn't an issue for me. And I'm doing air quotes that you can't see, but Kelly's smiling at me. Because I didn't want to have to give it up.
Right.
And I don't think I was addicted to the caffeine. I was addicted to the making of the thing, whatever that thing was, and the social component around that. Let's have a cup of tea. And nobody ever says, let's have a cup of decaf, or let's have a cup of, apple grass, wheat berry, whatever.
Right.
Doesn't sound very exciting.
No.
And I've noticed, even in the last 2.5 weeks, giving up caffeine, almost 100%. I've slipped a couple of times just because my Starbucks order is a habit. I've even stopped going to Starbucks because, quite frankly, no offense intended, Starbucks, but your coffee sucks. We have to put so much crap in it to make it taste good.
I know.
That's why they make all those wacky drinks, because it's so bitter.
It is.
I sleep. I sleep now.
Caffeine is the worst. There's something called the HPA axis that a lot of people are interested in. That's the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, and the adrenal glands. So the hypothalamus is the timekeeper of the brain. It's our biological clock. The pituitary gland is the head chief regulator of all hormonal processes. So every single hormonal process in the entire body is chiefed by the pituitary gland.
Led by? Gotcha.
Right.
I got you.
And then the adrenal glands regulate cortisol and adrenaline. And so when you drink caffeine, it speeds up the energy circuit through these three glands.
Oh, yeah.
And so you are actually aging biologically much quicker than anyone would like to.
Admit. The one thing that you also said during the member spotlight, which I found fascinating, was the impact that caffeine has on your small intestine. And I have 13 years in healthcare. I've been, granted it was a medical secretary, but I took the 2-year course, which included anatomy, physiology, pharmacology, all of that stuff. I worked as a medical secretary for 10 years. I've worked in respirology, cardiology, dermatology, GP, and then I taught the program for 2 years. So now I'm teaching anatomy, physiology, pharmacology, and all of that stuff. And when you said that caffeine impacts the villi in the small intestine, which for those of you that don't know, the small intestine is where all the goodness in whatever food you eat gets absorbed into the body to be used. Those little villi, the nice little fingers, which kind of creeps you out actually if you think about it, having fingers in your intestine. But anyway, but caffeine does what? Because it freaked me out. Tell us what it does. It freaked me out. It flattens the villi, you said. She's having a brain fart.
Not caffeine.
No?
No.
I had it wrong?
Yes.
Damn it, I'm telling everybody that it's caffeine. Is it gluten?
It is. It is.
Damn, I better go back and fix it. So it's good that you're here to correct that.
Right.
But I thought it was caffeine.
Caffeine is also, well, not necessarily caffeine, but coffees, especially non-organic, are very inflammatory. So anything that inflames the low intestine is also going to screw up the microvilli.
That's why you were looking at me with deer eyes.
I was like,
what is she talking about?
What did I say?
No. It was, you know what, I put it all together. I do that. So that's the other thing that I've reduced on this challenge is the amount of gluten.
Gluten actually affects 60 to 80% of all of us that just don't even know it. Gluten is
you felt bad for so long that you just don't think about it.
You don't notice it. I have seen people that were going for their tonsils and adenoids out and quit gluten, and they're perfectly fine. Just it can cause so many things. Yeah. And nowadays, the amount of things you can get that are gluten-free or you can make gluten-free.
Yeah, I do.
I find it a little bit easier to avoid. But yeah, gluten, it goes down and our small intestine is covered in little hair-like projections called microvilli. This is where all of our enzymes live that process our foods and absorb. They are responsible for absorbing the vitamins and minerals. Gluten comes in and flattens them all down.
Yeah, not caffeine.
Not caffeine.
Oopsie doodle.
But when they get all flattened, you're obviously not absorbing vitamins and minerals, and leaky gut is another.
My son had that.
Yeah, a lot of people have that. They don't even know.
I cured him.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's good.
My son had horrible eczema for the first 3.5 years of his life. And in the first 11 months of his life, he was probably on 9 courses of antibiotics.
Wow.
Because his cheeks would weep and peel, and he'd end up with impetigo. It's bacterial infection. We didn't have a choice. And even though I was dosing him with acidophilus and bifidus and doing all those immune boosters and flax oil and all the rest of it, it wasn't enough. And it wasn't until he was close to 3 that I did a 4-month course on him. And I'm not giving anybody medical advice. This is what I did working with a naturopath and what have you. So, it worked for us. Not saying it's going to work for you. We did 4 months of slippery elm.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily we were able to do it in a way that he didn't notice.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, like there was no objection, and we're like, okay, this is good. And the doctors had told us he would suffer with his eczema, which was hands, feet, face, like weeping, peeling, cracking, horrific. Like he looked like he'd been burned and then put into a cheese grater. They said, oh, Mrs. Plouffe, you're going to have to live with that until he's like maybe 11.
That's ridiculous.
And then he might grow out of it. And I'm like, or not. And I had him cleaned up by 3.5.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't aware that anything to do with skin, so especially eczema, comes from
an internal.
It comes from the inside. It's something to do with the digestive system.
Yeah.
And as soon as you figure out what the problem is, you can heal any skin. Acne as well. One of the easiest things to fix that people have such a hard time with.
To connect you with my daughter. She's going to get me in trouble for outing her, but we've tried everything. And anyway, moving on. So, continuing with this weight loss plateau, one of the next section in here is proper nutrition, which I know is something that people are able to kid themselves about a lot. I had an apple today, so 2 friggin' thumbs up for me.
There's so much misinformation out there about it too.
There is. There's a lot of confusing stuff. So if you had to pick something, and I know sugar is I have to give that up a little bit, but sugar is something that I don't think people understand. And
right.
They can have it in moderation and they can, be wise about it. But I think there's so much sugar in our food, we don't even realize how much we're eating.
Oh, it's amazing. The average adult eats, I wish I could remember the exact, it was something like 120 pounds of sugar in a way.
Please tell me it's a year.
I believe it was shorter than a year, but unfortunately I can't remember. But I remember reading it and thinking, oh my goodness, but that's insane.
But it's so easy to do.
It is. It's hiding in so many things.
You go to Starbucks and you order a Frappa Wappa Wutsy, and
there's your week of sugar.
Yeah, I don't even know how. I mean, I never ate those because I had a different store. But you just don't think about it.
No.
And you don't see the physical consequences because it's bad for your teeth. Well, I'll brush my teeth.
Sugar, actually, that's an interesting topic not many people know as well. When it comes to the teeth, when it comes to cavities induced by sugar, the teeth have their own drainage system for our lymphatic flow. So the lymphatic system in the body, the teeth, tiny little tubules covering the teeth actually push out lymphatic fluids. And so when you eat sugar, the body reverses that flow and the teeth start sucking in the sugar and the toxins.
Really?
Yes. And so brushing your teeth is not going to fix the problem.
Slap my honey. That's not going to fix it, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So what if you have a sluggish lymphatic system on top of that?
Well, that's not going to help.
I didn't expect it would. Straight face. Well done. I'd knuckle bump you, but would probably hit the microphone, so that wouldn't be great.
I would have that looked at.
I am. Thank you. But in that fact, because you look at something like the increased prevalence of Hodgkin's disease and Hodgkin's lymphoma, which are all lymphatic-based cancers. Right. My dad had it twice. Didn't kill him. He died of something else, but that's another podcast. And that's always got me thinking about my lymphatic system. That is it effective? Is it a congenital thing that our lymphatic systems don't run as effectively as they could, or was he just an anomaly? But given the impact on your teeth, so that would explain a lot about what do they call it? Bummer. When they give you antibiotics and you don't need them, prophylactic antibiotics before any type of dental procedure. So if you do have a sluggish lymphatic system, are you at risk during dental procedures and stuff? I'm wondering.
I don't think the risk would be severe, but you would obviously be more so than someone that has But there's lots you can do for your lymphatic system to get it up and running. It's usually diet and lifestyle, and like a lot of other things, sometimes people believe that things are hereditary, but it's really the lifestyle is passed down to the other generations. Sometimes. It depends on the family. All cases are different, but that is a factor as well.
Very true. I'm not trying to make it about me. It's just interesting that...
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. That's very cool. So we continue through this, and we get on to metabolic typing. And I think all of us have pulled I have a slow metabolism card one time or another. And I honestly don't have a slow metabolism. I just eat like crap and I don't sleep properly. So I've given that particular... Or it was baby weight. I used that for a while. But my son's going to be 18 in April. And my daughter's going to be 17 in May. So I kind of have to let the baby weight thing go. And then I used my C-sections for a couple of more years. But yeah, I have to give that up too. That's been healed for a while. So what screws up your metabolism? So we know caffeine does.
Caffeine does, yeah. Oftentimes if we're speeding our bodies up via stress, not getting enough sleep, or caffeine, the hypothalamus, timekeeper, speeds up, and the thyroid will actually shut down the metabolism in order to try to save us, because the body realizes that it's in a stress response now. And so a lot of times metabolism slows just from those factors.
Because you're trying to reserve whatever calories you have.
The body's trying to stop aging, and so it stops the metabolism.
Well, we also haven't reached that evolutionary 100,000 mark.
Right.
Where we're not running from dinosaurs.
Right.
Or, men with spears or what have you.
The body perceives a lot of things as running from dinosaurs.
Damn
dinosaurs! We would never even think were stressful like that, but yeah.
Maybe that's when I watch like the Croods and, Land of the Dinosaur, I get all freaked out. No, that's not it.
But there is no one-size-fits-all approach to diet and lifestyle, and I really rely on biochemical individuality because we are all so different. And a lot of people say, well, how is it better than blood typing or body typing?
I had that done.
But blood typing and body typing takes into account one variable, your blood type or your body type. But metabolic typing takes into account every single homeostatic mechanism. So any mechanism in the body that's trying to keep it balanced. So
you have to explain what I know what homeostatic means.
It just means homeostasis is balance. So the body is constantly trying to achieve a state of homeostasis or a state of balance.
Right.
And so all of those mechanisms are taken into account with metabolic typing.
Very cool. So how would you perform metabolic typing on someone? So if they hear this and they're very excited and they're ready to move forward. What does the metabolic typing process involve?
It is non-invasive. It's actually questionnaire-based. So they get a questionnaire. It's quite in-depth and quite involved. And there's all kinds of questions. And oftentimes I get asked, well, what does my ear color have to do with my diet? That's one example of
your ear.
It's amazing
did I hear you wrong?
Right. Ear color has something to do. Basically, I look at exactly how the body is processing everything and what's going on in the body.
What the heck does your ear
Or like, how's your mood an hour after you eat, which is a more common one. But there's all kinds of little questions that you would never know have anything to do with it. But after that questionnaire, they give it back to me, and then I go over everything, and then they will get a complete package of their own individual type, and it will give them all kinds of information beyond just what your metabolic type is. You get meal plan ideas and grocery lists, and it's a complete program. And the cool thing is I do this with a lot of people overseas as well. I can do it online, which is good.
You mentioned Skype, that you've done it through Skype before. So how would somebody...
And then they can even, sorry to interrupt, but they can even refine it. So with the metabolic typing package, you also get a tracking paper where you can track how you feel on it. And so you can tailor your own metabolic type and really fine tune it over time.
I do find now, actually, that if I have a large input of sugar, so, I get myself a little something, man, am I angry after. Like within an hour, I'm in the foulest freaking mood. What's you doing? What'd you drop? Your ring? It hasn't gone anywhere. I was quite shocked by that. I wasn't sure how sugar that has always been equated with, happiness in my life, now makes me really cranky. which is very disappointing. But moving on. So you mentioned here about cholesterol, which I think is one of the most misunderstood.
It is.
God bless the medical community, of which I was a part for many years, but dang, if they change their mind one more time on cholesterol.
Oh, I know. Cholesterol is a warning sign that something else is off in the body. So a lot of diet and lifestyle factors raise cholesterol, but some people go to their doctor and they give them drugs to lower it, and that's fine, but whatever's wrong is still wrong.
Yes.
Still affecting the body.
Drives me nuts.
So I will never take anyone off of cholesterol-lowering medication. I don't actually work with any kind of what's going on in their own program, but I will have them follow this, and sure enough, their doctor will end up just taking them off the medication themselves. Cholesterol will normalize.
Yeah, and that's one thing we should make very clear is that regardless of what you're doing in your health exploration, you should never change what you're doing with your doctor until you've actually talked to your doctor. And I had friends of ours who had a child who was having some issues, and they removed that child from the medication under what they thought was the right doctor advice, and the child ended up having to be put in a psychiatric ward.
Oh dear.
Because the medication that he was on was to help with behavior and whatever, and sudden removal is never allowed. It's always a gradual withdrawal. But it's the same thing with your body becomes dependent on those medications. You know, and I have a parent who's on multiple medications, and I would never tell her to come off of anything.
Right.
If you're on prednisone, for example, you have to be, I know, but you have to be weaned off of
That is very careful to be weaned off. Yeah.
Warfarin, heparin, any of those blood thinning medications, any of those things. So, you know, regardless of what we're talking about here, just to be really clear, it's fantastic if you begin this health journey, but please don't make any changes. Advise your GP what you're doing if you decide to embark on this. But
and the doctor will make those changes. I have a really, really amazing success rate with fibromyalgia, and with the prednisone, a lot of people come right off of it. But what they do is they'll go through my program, do the program, and then they keep in contact with their doctor the whole time. So the doctor just lowers as their body recovers.
Which is good, and which is how it should be.
Yeah.
Because you do get a certain amount of dependence. And, you know, what I've found anyway is that some medications, inadvertently, they just make your body a little bit lazy. And you need them. And I'm never saying don't take medication, because, you know, everybody has to sometimes. But recognize that dependency, and recognize that self-medicating and just deciding that you're done because you ate a banana today is really not okay.
No, integrative health is wonderful.
I love it. I love it. And I worked with when my son was very sick, worked very closely with my GP and the natural community to help him. And I would never, ever tell anybody to choose one or the other. You have to mix them both, because some conditions just don't allow for that. But making any improvements, definitely going to have a
They
positive
can work
impact.
together quite well.
They can. It's better now. Even 10 years ago, I had such a struggle.
Yeah.
Every time I told my doctor I was going to the naturopath, she'd ship me off to another dermatologist. I saw 5 dermatologists in 3.5 years because she had no idea what to do about the fact that I was seeing a naturopath.
Oh.
And that I was seeing an osteopath. And that I was using these prescribed holistic remedies with my son. Freaked her out to no end.
Yeah. Luckily now a lot of GPs have holistic education and are more interested in
more
holistics.
understanding. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
5 dermatologists by the time we were done.
Yeah.
It was, and it made her feel better. I'm like, I don't care. Like, just, you know, like, she's like, no, I have to, okay. Whatever works. So one of the last pieces in here, I mean, there's a lot more in this package, which is fantastic. We know about organic, and that's an ongoing issue, but I know I read something a few years ago, and it was about reducing the burden and reducing what you can control. So we can't control pollution. We can't control the quality of our air in our workplace. We can't control, well, I guess if we add plants we can, but anyway. But what you can control is what's going into your body and on your body.
Right.
So people recognizing that your skin is your largest organ, it's your largest filtration organ. And if you're slathering on that cruddy body stuff from, we won't use a name, but there's 2 of them in Mapleview Mall that you shouldn't go to.
Well, even in the shower, even tap water from the shower, the body absorbs 60% of whatever goes on the skin.
Well,
and
it's
it
the
goes
chlorine.
straight to the liver.
Eesh.
So anything that you're, even with food that you're putting in your mouth, anything going in or on the body goes straight to the liver for detox if it's non-organic. And especially parabens in personal care products are
I removed all of those years ago.
nice cancer-causing chemicals.
Are there nice cancers?
No, there are not.
Do they wake up and shake your hand before they give you that big tumor? Nice to meet you. I'm going to infect you now for the rest of your life. Thanks. So going on to water, which is the one thing that I know people struggle with.
Yes.
They think they've drunk far more than they actually have.
Right. Half your body weight in ounces per day.
As I drink from my Ironman glass.
That is absolute minimum. And people say, well, that's so much water. It's really not. Anybody's body needs half their weight in pounds, we're using here, in ounces of water per day for proper detoxification.
I find my brain goes funky chicken if I don't have enough water.
Right. And I have had cases of, a lot of more serious cases come to me, and I always start with water. And sure enough, it was only the water. Like people that have had migraines for years
Are just chronically dehydrated.
just dehydrated. Just little things like that. It's
So can
amazing.
we talk pee for a moment?
Yes.
Because water and pee kind of go together. Something somebody told me years ago. This is how I monitor how hydrated I am. And you can be grossed out or not, but honestly, ladies, I mean, we're looking down anyway, and men, you're looking right at the source, so there's no reason to turn away. And unless you're closing your eyes when you're going to pee. I know. Poo can too, but that's another podcast.
Yeah.
I use that as a measure. So if I, go to the washroom and, hopefully it's not that time where Mother Nature plays funky chicken with us, but if it's dark yellow, I know I'm in trouble. And it's too late. I'm already dehydrated. And so I'll double up for a little while to try and I keep going until by the time I go to the bathroom for the 500th time, because I've had all that water, it's almost clear.
Yeah.
And I really honestly try and pay attention to the pee color. You could say urine color if it's not, it's left the pants stuff.
Everybody says pee. It's
I
fine.
know. According to that one commercial, pee happens.
Everybody pees.
Everybody pees. So would you say that is a valid way of measuring?
I would say you could measure that way. I don't see anything wrong with measuring that way. For just as a little side note, thirst is the last signal of needing water that the body gives off. So,
really?
Yes, it's usually hunger or it's fatigue. There's all kinds of things.
I usually go through my head, am I hungry or am I thirsty?
There's a little test you can do on the top of your hand where if you pinch the skin and raise it and let it go, if it takes a long time to snap back, you are dehydrated.
I'm slightly dehydrated. And nobody can see this,
But if you are not drinking half your body weight in filtered water per day, you are dehydrated. And another side note, nothing replaces water. So people say, oh, I drink tea, so that counts. It doesn't.
Tea's a diuretic.
Anything that is opaque, the body treats as a food substance, even if it's liquid.
So anything dark.
Anything that you can't see through. The only other thing you could do is lemon and water.
Which is good.
Yeah.
I know you're supposed to start your day with that. That actually sends my stomach into unhappy places. So I have to fit that in elsewhere.
Oh, peeing. I forgot a little note on peeing.
Sorry, we're just going to get rid of this because, we didn't do that part. And I don't know who that is.
If you put a pinch of good quality sea salt in your water, you won't taste it. Like a small enough pinch where you're not going to taste it or notice it. It remineralizes the water so the body absorbs it more and you pee much less.
I actually just found a product in Fortino's, and it's a mineralized salt, because I think the other thing that most people don't know about salt is that when you buy that nasty white table salt, it actually has no nutritional value for you.
And it has the same thing as aspartame, where
super duper.
Your body thinks that, by what I mean by the same thing as aspartame, is that your body gets the signals that it's eaten, but it doesn't have the nutrition, and so your hormone that tells you you're hungry gets released, and you start thinking you're hungry when you're not.
I actually can't eat aspartame. It gives me headaches and it tastes like crap.
I'm glad you notice it.
What's that?
A lot of people don't notice those effects.
I do. Immediately. Yeah. Somebody, we're going to go back to Starbucks. Not that we're Starbucks bashing, because I love Starbucks, but they have a skinny version of their drinks. And somebody inadvertently ordered me, because I'm very clear with them when I ask for a low fat or a non-fat. Sometimes they will jump to the automatic and make it a skinny. And I took one taste and I went back and I'm like, any chance you used what you call sugar-free syrup or whatever? She's like, yeah. I'm like, can you check the ingredients on the syrup bottle, please? She's like, why is that? I said, because I'm actually allergic to aspartame.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And her eyes just went, wow! And I'm like, yeah. I said, you cannot make that assumption unless somebody's asked you for that. You cannot assume.
Mm-hmm.
That can actually physically make me sick.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. Yeah, aspartame's nasty.
It is.
It's
It's so much nastier than
Yeah.
what it does with your hunger hormone. It's so much.
I bought a thing. I think it's called Real Salt. It's in a clear container with a blue top. Fortino's carries it in the natural section, and you can see the good salt in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I know there's the argument around iodine and what have you, but I mean, we get iodine, we get salt in our foods anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know anybody who can avoid processed foods 100%. And I understand the function of iodine for the thyroid and all that kind of thing, but we certainly don't need the amount of salt that a lot of people consume.
No, we don't. And I usually just tell people just stick with sea salt.
I love
Sea salt is awesome for the body.
So sea salt versus like fleur de sel or...
I would always use sea salt. It's the most nutritious. Also, if you get sea salt from New Zealand or just Celtic sea salt, it has the least amount of mercury and heavy metals in it. So I would go with those.
So what about doing your own? If you live by reasonably, if you live by the ocean, you could. I mean, don't pick up any whale pee, but you could boil it down and scrape out.
I never would have even thought about that.
I watched a show. This is what comes of watching TV. And what did they have to do? They had to live. It was a 100-mile challenge, right? So if you lived in like the middle of Saskatchewan or whatever. But if you lived on the coast, sea salt is usually produced elsewhere, ironically. I mean, our country's bordered by two massive oceans. So they could not eat anything that hadn't come within 100 miles of where they lived.
Wow.
Salt typically is imported.
Mm-hmm.
They had to go down to the ocean, get a bucket, sit there while it boiled down, and then scrape off.
Wow.
Yeah, the salt left behind. I'm not making this up. It is on.
Just don't know if I'd want salt that bad. But hey.
But you're burning off, because our next topic is movement. So
right.
You're burning off calories because you have to go down to the ocean, hoist up the bucket, do all of that stuff. So
right.
rah on that. But yeah, and they used they harvested kelp, because of course kelp is living in the ocean, so It's got a lot of it's got a lot of salt, and they crisped that up and did stuff. Oh yeah, they were creative.
You'd have to be, I guess.
If you need your salt that badly,
you do anything.
Have at her. This is where you have to watch TVO, people. Watch TV Ontario. You learn all kinds of weird stuff. So now this is the part of the 21-day challenge where I have fallen down.
But that's not a bad thing. I warn people, some people, I say don't exercise at all during the challenge. Someone that would have adrenal fatigue, for example, I would say don't exercise. Well, not don't exercise. That comes across sounding not what I intend. Just don't
go nutty.
Yeah, working in movements, energy cultivating movements, and things like that.
I'm
Soft
sure my
exercise.
adrenal glands are the size of walnuts.
Yoga or something.
Peanuts. So it takes an average of 4 weeks for the body to adjust to a new exercise or routine.
Mm-hmm.
So is that also part of the habit developing process? Because exercising is a habit.
Mm-hmm. So neurologically, the mind and body think, okay, well, we know what this is now, so that's fine.
So we're good to go?
And so that creates a lot of plateau, is just not switching up the routine minimum once every 4 weeks. And it doesn't even have to be a big change, just changing the angle that you're standing on or that you're lifting with.
So what about the mindset that, I'll exercise tomorrow? I mean, I can't think of one person who hasn't said, well, there's tomorrow. And then tomorrow is like cold and rainy, and you're like, well, it's cold and rainy, and maybe it'll be nicer tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then,
it's a slippery slope for a lot of people.
I slide down that a lot. It's kind of hard to get back up. And I mean, there's also the mind trash around, well, I've tried exercise before. I used to work out with a former Miss Olympia. My husband and I used to train together at a heavy duty gym, and, you know, I could do a lat spread and had pipes in the hole. And I was like, woohoo! And I'm like, yeah, this is boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't care.
You've got to do something you like. A lot of people put exercise in the category of a chore or something that has to get done.
Yeah.
But you need to do something you love to do. I used to lift weights religiously. I still lift weights, don't get me wrong, but I've now gone mostly towards yoga because I enjoy it so much. Or groove. I enjoy groove a lot. So
What's groove?
it's a dance fitness.
I could do it. I can't dance with crap, but I'd be willing to.
But it doesn't matter if you can't dance. That's why I like groove.
Because I could cut a rug doing that.
Yeah, and it's not like Zumba. It's not a follow the leader. It's you get 1 or 2 movements or rhythms per song, and then everyone dances the same movement or rhythm their own way.
Really?
And if you don't look at the leader at all, you just hear you do this movement and you add your own spice to it. So everyone's doing the same thing. They're united, but different. And it's amazing.
Where can you do that?
I actually run groove classes.
There you go. And I honestly, okay, so full disclosure, honestly didn't know that. But that would be something that I would enjoy. I went to a Zumba class and I just about died. And I mean, God bless these women because, man, they are energetic. But there's no way.
Yeah, and you go at your own pace, too. That's another thing. You don't have to try to keep up.
Do I get to pick the music?
I wish. No. It's awesome music, though. It's all over the place, the different kinds of music.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm more of a Broadway show tune kind of girl.
They're in there.
Seriously?
I'm not kidding. It's all...
Don't mess with me, man.
It's amazing.
Oh. All right, cool. So, talking about overtraining, that's not a problem for a lot of people. I love this last statement, though. It says here, with just a few small adjustments to your lifestyle over time, which I think is another thing people underestimate, you can and will reach your goals much faster than you'd ever thought possible in a much easier way. Reach your goals in this smarter, not harder way, which is really cool. And I think a lot of people get themselves down if after 2 weeks they're not completely buff and ready to, do that slow, what was that show? Baywatch, that slow Baywatch run with the red suit, and like, it's never gonna happen.
That's one thing I love the challenge for, because you get the results in a time span that you can see, but then it sort of shoots you into the lifestyle where over time it maintains it and just keeps it, which is nice.
So can you continue then to, because I full disclosure again, haven't had a huge amount of weight loss, but physically I feel better, mentally I feel better, so I've sort of shifted my mindset away from the goal being weight loss to being life improvement. Right.
Well, that's what the challenge originated. That's what it originated as. Sorry. It's a health overhaul. So it's meant to balance the hormones and balance the blood sugar and do all of that. Weight loss is just a side effect of that. And weight loss for a lot of people, some people gain weight, but in muscle weight, or their body's rebalancing itself. The weight loss will happen over time. Sometimes it's an underlying issue, like a thyroid issue, but the challenge itself should help to do that for a lot of people.
So when you remove those irritants, those body irritants, so the gluten, the sugar, and once again, it's gluten that's bad for your small intestine, not caffeine. Oopsie doodle.
A good rule of thumb is the 4 white devils. So refined sugar.
4 white devils.
Yeah, it's handy.
I cast you out, Satan! I cast you out, you devil sugar!
So cast out sugar.
I rebuke you!
Processed dairy. Sorry, pasteurized dairy. White flour and table salt.
So we both know, as I go through the aisles in the grocery store, in my head I'm going to be like, I rebuke you! And there may come a time where I actually do that out loud to embarrass my daughter.
I would.
That'd be super fun. I rebuke you, sugar. Talk to the hand. I had a point to make before that. You took me off on a segue. That's okay. Anyway, this is really cool, and I've learned a whole bunch more again, so I'm re-inspired to continue with this, and I don't plan to give up. And I know the challenge is a separate thing that you offer in conjunction with this, or separate from the how to break through your plateau. So again, if you're interested, Kelly and I have talked about trying to re-offer this workshop.
Yeah.
It's an amazing opportunity, and honestly, it will change your relationship with food, and it will change the way you think about changing your health. I don't know how else to. I'm not explaining that very well, but
And like I say, the plateau is probably the smallest piece of that whole package. It's really just about maintaining optimal health and wellness. So how to reach your goal weight effortlessly, or how to feel better effortlessly.
it's the feel better. I always used to embark on these things with the goal of weight loss, and of course, because you're not changing anything else really,
Right.
definitely not the parts that I've changed with you, you give up.
Weight loss should be a side effect.
Yeah,
It really-
instead
yeah.
of the end goal. And that's a major thing that I've learned, not only through today, but just through going through that process. So thank you very much, everybody. If you want more information on Kelly and what she offers, it's solelyu.com. And she's on Facebook as well. And actually, how did your labyrinth workshop
It was
go?
good.
Yeah?
It was good. It was a lot of fun.
I was so sad to miss that. I was at another event, but I love labyrinths as a means of meditation and physical activity. And where is that? That's on Guelph Line?
Yeah, it's a Burlington Central labyrinth in the Central Park. So it's off of Guelph Line. You can get there via New Street if you park at the library, but I always go in off Guelph Line, but if you're going down Guelph Line right before you get to New Street. It's on the right.
It's behind Central Library?
It's really hidden. There's a little
Yeah.
sign on Guelph Line that'll say Central Park. And you won't see it. You just have to drive in. And
I'm at the library all the time. It's like my favorite place on earth.
it's a
I've
huge
never
labyrinth.
seen
Yeah.
it. Dang. All right. So thank you, everybody. Enjoy. I hope you use this to embark on your own health journey. And we will talk to you soon. It's been Across the Desk with Elizabeth and Kelly. And have a great day.